Have you heard of Tulum, Mexico? Tulum was supposed to be the next Cabo, the next Playa del Carmen. They invested hundreds of millions of dollars. They built an airport. They put a railway. They got people straight to Tulum. But what they also did was they blocked all the locals from the beach. They said these are resorts. These beaches are privately owned, and the locals, if they wanted to spend time on a beach that they have for generations, had to pay. So the locals stopped going. This year, tourism way down everywhere, right? People are not spending money like they used to. Um, and now the airport's not being used and the railway is not being used. And what's even worse is because there's not enough activity of tourism, big airlines are pulling out and saying it's not beneficial for us to fly just a few people from the United States to Tulum. So now the locals are speaking out. Mexico spent hundreds of millions of tax dollars and it didn't work out. And they're lying in the media saying, oh, there's crowds, there's big numbers, but people are putting up content all the time, walking on the beaches, nobody's there. So, kind of like Newsom said he was going to build that $2 billion train and didn't. They actually built it. They spent the money, but it didn't work out because they ended up blocking the locals from going to their beach that they've been going to for generations. So now, even when there is no tourism, there is no locals either. They're not going up there buying a few beers, grabbing a good meal, and hanging out at the beach because it's too expensive. Everything's being charged in American dollars. If you want a chair by the water, it's like 25 bucks. If you want an umbrella to cover you, add another 25 bucks. They add for everything. And the world, the economy of the world is not in a good place. So now there's no tourism. And now they look like idiots because they spent hundreds of millions of dollars. They were curating, trying to make Tulum, force Tulum onto the world. And it didn't work out because they did it in a way where, or in a time, you have to ask yourself, did they just do it? Was it bad timing? Also, the seaweed issue, really, really bad this year. They said it never went away. The water is really dirty in Mexico, if you don't know. And the dirtier the water, the more the seaweed, because the seaweed is kind of a filter system that cleans it out. So they went through a whole tourist season where the beaches were uninhabitable because there was seaweed at the shoreline. Lessons learned.